So the new Pokemon Legends ZA just dropped, and everyone's talking about the Mega Evolution. Some people like them, some people hate them. Well, a lot of people hate them, but are they really that bad? The previous Mega Evolutions have been absolutely fire for the most part, besides Mega Mewtwo X. I don't know what that is, but for the most part, gas. So how much better or worse can the new ones be? Well, today we're gonna look at all the new Mega Evolutions and rank them on a tier list. I was gonna do all of them, but there's probably like 60 or 70, so I didn't mean to do a 6-7 joke there. But anyways, that would take a really long time, so let's just stick with the new ones and let's get this thing started with the starters. By the way, before I start, Blaziken and Lucario have the best Mega Evolutions. Do not at me. Anyways, we're gonna start with Mega Feraligatr, probably the most controversial Mega amongst the starters. Totodile is one of my all-time favorite starting Pokemon, so when I heard it's gonna be an option in this game, I was absolutely hyped. The expectations were through the roof. Unfortunately, Mega Feraligatr has let a lot of people down, including myself, but I don't really hate it as much as a lot of people I've seen do. The concept is a bit strange. It has this giant hood-like fin and arms that snap down to be some kind of armor, and when it does it, it kind of looks like a bigger Totodile, which is a bit of an interesting decision on Pokemon's end. There's nothing all that different with the Feraligatr itself. In fact, I don't really think anything is different. All it has is the fin thing that snaps over it, and it's kind of funny because people compare this to a toilet bowl seat, which I really can't unsee. But again, I'm not the biggest hater of this. It's certainly not the worst Mega, but it's definitely not the best. It's okay, so the most okay tier would have to be C tier. Next up, we got my boy Mega Emboar, who I actually really like here. He's got some kind of samurai or knight looking design here. They gave him a spear. They amped up the details on him, like with the flames that kind of look like a demon. I really dig this design. I'm gonna put him in B tier. It doesn't really blow me away or anything, but I have no complaints whatsoever. He definitely got more justice than Feraligatr. Now we get to Mega Meganium. Now, a lot of mixed opinions on this one as well. I think it's solid. If I had to imagine what Mega Meganium would have looked like, this is almost exactly what it would have been. I know it's just more flowers, but honestly, I feel like that's all it really needed. I'm not even the biggest Meganium fan, but I like it. I'm gonna also put it in B tier. They could have done more, but I'm still satisfied. Let's move on to the Kalos starters with my boy Greninja. I'm gonna come out and say this is an A tier. I don't think it's physically possible to make a bad Mega Greninja, but the only thing holding it back from S tier is that they could have done so much more. My favorite part is definitely the giant water shuriken he's hanging upside down on, all the aura you would expect from Greninja. Outside of that, I just feel like it's missing some of that it feels more like a reskin than a Mega Evolution, if that makes sense. This is one of the most popular Pokemon of all time. I would have expected them to absolutely cook like with Mega Charizard X and Lucario, and I'm not saying they didn't cook, I just think they could have left it in the oven a little more. Speaking of cooking, Mega Delphox might just be the best new Mega Evolution. This is straight out of Fire Force. Whoever thought to turn Delphox into Benimaru Shinmon absolutely needs a raise, and the added colors and details are just perfect. Easy as S tier of my life. Then we got Mega Chestnut, who they also give a spear like my boy Emboar, but I think Chestnut does it a little better. They turned this brother into an actual king. He's got a crown-like masterpiece, a built-in cape, shields for shoulders. Now, I wouldn't say they cooked as much with him as they did with Delphox, but I'm gonna still put him in A tier. The Kalos starters all look great. I want to talk about Mega Dragonite up next. This is one of the earlier reveals, and people absolutely hated it. I might be in the minority here, but I really like this design for Dragonite. I feel like a lot of people wanted it to look rough and tough like Garchomp and Salamence, but that's just not what Dragonite is at all. If you really think about it, it's basically a more accurate evolution for Dragonair. It's got the ears for wings, the ball on its tail, horn on its head. I'm not gonna lie, it would be nice if it looked cooler to match how powerful of a Pokemon it is, but let's not act like this is a surprising design or anything. I think it's a solid B tier. We got my boy Hawlucha up next, and as much as I hate to say this, I really love Hawlucha as a Pokemon, so when I saw his Mega Evolution, I was absolutely hyped. This is another S tier. He is literally just a Pokemon Rey Mysterio. Is that not the coolest thing to ever exist? I will say I'm a little biased because I love the guy so much. If you really think about it, it's basically just a cosmetic. However, the fact that they embraced his luchador inspirations means the world to me. I absolutely adore this Mega Evolution. Speaking of S tiers, let's talk about Mega Starmie. I'm kidding. Mega Starmie is definitely an interesting one to say the least. This might just be the goofiest ugliest Pokemon I've ever seen. Now, most people will instantly put this in F tier, bottom of the barrel, but I actually saw something that could possibly boost it up a bit. So apparently, Starmie itself is based on Ultraman or something from Ultraman. I'm not really familiar with the series all that much, but the fact that it takes inspiration from such a legendary series like this, I feel like it has to give it some kind of points, or at least some kind of justification for looking like Patrick Star when he had the fishnets. I'm gonna put this in D tier though, I'm sorry. It's Starmie with longer legs. I don't even think it's the worst new Mega though. That would have to go to Mega Pyro. I'm sorry, but to fumble a Mega Evolution for a lion Pokemon has to be a skill or something. They literally just Control Seed and Control V'd his hair on top of it. To think there's Pokemon that aren't getting Mega Evolutions because we got this is honestly depressing. I don't want to speak too much on it. I'm putting it at F tier because it's my personal least favorite. On a more positive note, let's talk about Mega Drampa, a design I really mess with. Now, Drampa itself is such a random Pokemon to me. I would have never expected it to get a Mega, but now that we've got it, this design is so insanely cool. It's like a Nimbus Cloud fused with a dragon, and apparently this is how it looked in its prime, which is crazy to say. Mega Drampa isn't even Mega, it's just Prime Drampa. If there was a space between A and S tier, it would go somewhere in there. So I'm gonna just leave it at the very top of A tier for now. I feel like that's perfect. I'm gonna just get this one out the way. Electros is not one of my favorite Pokemon by any means, and with the Mega Evolution, I can kind of see what they're trying to do. It looks like some kind of submarine, I think. I just don't like the Pokemon or design whatsoever. I'm gonna put it in D tier. A Pokemon I really love though is Excadrill. He was my absolute GOAT in Unova. Now when it comes to his Mega Evolution, it's really reminiscent to Feraligatrs in a sense that it's a bunch of big body parts that just compose into one. I will say, he does look like Chainsaw Man. He does come together to make a big drill, and what else has big drills? Gurren Lagann. Those factors alone really make me want to love this Mega Evolution design. I don't know if I can though. I'm gonna put it in C tier right next to Feraligatr. I'm gonna be honest, they could have gave my boy some more justice. Same goes for Skarmory here, who looks like it got dipped in gold. Don't get me wrong, a gold Skarmory is a really cool concept for like a shiny or something, but for the Mega Evolution, I don't know. They also gave him some really big feet, which honestly confused me at first, but apparently it's based on this bird right here, something I actually saw on TikTok recently. I don't know what bird this is, but I guess that's the inspiration. It does look really cool though. I'm gonna have to put this in the lower end of B tier. Mega Phalanx is a bunch of Phalanx stacked on each other like they're trying to sneak into a movie theater. Very funny concept and exactly what I would have expected from it. I don't really have much to say about this one. It's just Phalanx in a different shape. B tier, I guess. Mega Chandelure. This is one I really love, and I'm kind of surprised to see a lot of people hate on it. The main argument I've heard is that it's just a big chandelier when it's a chandelier Pokemon to begin with. Doesn't really make sense to me. This to me is an easy A tier. Sure, it's not up there with the all-time megas, but it's everything I could ask for from a Mega Chandelure. That definitely rhymed right there. Add that to the bar counter. That's only one for the video, but maybe I should start counting. I almost forgot about Mega Victory Bell. This was also an early revealed one that a lot of people didn't like, including myself at first, but honestly, it kind of grew on me. I don't really know what I was expecting from a Pitcher Plant Mega Evolution, but again, this is kind of what I would expect. I actually had to sit down and think about it though, because it definitely isn't the most visually appealing. It's a big old plant that vomits acid or something and has to tie its throat shut. That's actually really crazy. I'm gonna put it in C tier. The design makes sense, but that don't mean I have to like it. I'm being generous here. Barbaracle is another Pokemon I'm kind of surprised got a Mega Evolution, and I'm honestly not disappointed by it. This looks really cool. The 8 arms goes absolutely crazy, and he's low-key doing the Frieza pose now that I look at it. He got some aura to him. Not exactly my favorite Pokemon though, but if I was a Barbaracle fan, I'd be pretty satisfied with this. I wouldn't be ecstatic, but satisfied. I would say B tier. It is getting a bit cluttered there, though. Not to worry, though, because we have Mega Malabar. I really wish I could tell you what this thing is. I am 100% letting my personal biases influence this placement, but I just don't like Malamar as a Pokemon in general. So when I see this Mega Evolution, is that doing anything for me? And again, this is my personal list, and if you're asking me personally, I do not mess with this thing. I'm putting it right at the bottom. If I'm being honest, it doesn't deserve to be there. I don't know. I just have beef with Malamar. Let's talk about Mega Floette up next. Certainly a huge part of the Legends EA and X and Y story, and it low-key got a crazy Mega Evolution. It went from floating around on a flower to like some kind of Fortnite glider. What is that thing? This is just another Pokemon I'm not really attached to whatsoever. I might just give it a C at best. Mega Clefable, it's a big old butterfly, exactly what you would expect from a fairy type Pokemon. D tier for me. Again, I'm not attached to this Pokemon. It's not bad, it's just not great. Let's talk about the two Mega Raichus up next. I don't think they're actually out in the game right now, but they are coming to the game and they've revealed them already. I think these are sick. They're easily A tier. They kind of look like an X and Y. If I had to choose between the two, Raichu X would be my personal favorite, but the Y also looks cool. They look too identical to each other to be in different tiers, so it's gonna stay in A. Mega Dragalge and Mega Scolipede, both really good poison types and really good Mega Evolutions. Scolipede, for one, turns into some kind of like bug horse or something. That's insanely sick. Then we got Dragalge. No drastic changes, just amplification of features, and I really love that on a Pokemon. I mean, some of the best ones like Lucario are just amplifying the features to make them look cooler like this. Both of them are definitely going in my A tiers. I think they cooked with these, and now we get to Mega Scrafty. I'm not gonna lie, my boy's choice of clothing does seem a wee bit questionable, but it is just loose skin. But honestly, what's with all the Mega Evolutions looking like cosmetics, more so than an actual Mega Evolution? Not to say this Mega Evolution doesn't look cool. I mean, he's like wearing his skin like a hood and like a hoodie and pants. Like, that's sick. I mean, look at his knees. He got shredded jeans, but instead of jeans, it's his skin. We're down to two Mega Evolutions, the first of which being Mega Frostlass. Some mixed opinions in the community about this one. The main thing I've seen is that people are saying they just elongated Frostlass, which I can definitely understand, but I actually mess with its design a lot. First of all, the ice horns are super fire, or should I say cold, and I don't know, the elongated dress really makes it look a lot more elegant and spooky. It is an ice and ghost type, so that fits perfectly to me. I'm a huge fan of this one. I'm gonna put it pretty high on my A tier, and that's coming from a guy who really isn't that big of a Frostlass fan. But now we're down to one, the legendary Pokemon of the game, Zygarde. Unfortunately, folks, this is probably one of my least favorite Megas in the entire game, and no, I am not trolling. I did not save the best for last, because this one is a fumble in my opinion. This is one of those Megas I feel is really hard to mess up considering how cool the Pokemon is, and unfortunately it seems like they managed to do that. I don't even know what's going on with this. First of all, it looks like it's missing its arms and legs. Somehow it got smaller than its previous evolution, and I'm not even sure what that thing above it is. Is that like some kind of gun? Is that what's happening there? I guess I'm just not personally a fan of any aspect of this design. I really can't see the vision with this one. I might have to put it in F tier. I don't know if that's a hot take, but that's where it's going for me. But there we have it, folks. Here is my ranking of all the new Mega Evolutions. Let me know how y'all feel about this, because again, this is my personal list. I just ranked the designs, no competitive factor, no objectivity to this, just how much I mess with the designs. I will say, compared to the past Mega Evolutions, I think there's a step down, but as much as people trash on these, I feel like they're not as bad as people make them out to be. But anyways, if you made it to this point in the video, you are an absolute legend for watching this thing through, or you just skipped to the end. If so, you better go back. Also, be like these subscribers. They're subscribed, so you should subscribe too, so you can be on the subscriber list here with the subscribers. I'm done.